Hey, Soul Tribe. Tracy here with Sweet Spot Magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, the views, subscribes, the comments, generous donations in all forms, hypes, membership, everything. I appreciate it all. Happy Friday. Let's ring the bell. Let's go ahead and clear out this energy. And then we're just going to see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning. I just jumped on here, so the notification probably just went out 20 seconds before I even jumped on. So if you didn't receive a notification, it's because there really wasn't one. But let's ring the bell. That's a good bell. That's a good ring. Grand Rising, Kinsa Warrior. You know what? That is a good ring. You're receiving what you deserve. Your love is being returned with equal love. Your kindness is being returned with kindness. Just like your grace, your generosity, all of those wonderful traits about you, they are being returned directly to you. Grand Rising, Robert. Hello, Ayana. Somebody, they're not feeling too happy about it. There's some resentment that's going on. And it's because they didn't want you to receive this. They wanted it to be about them. This person is having to find out the hard way that life is not just all about them, that they are this very small, minute particle in this game and place called Earth and life. That we all are equally as valuable. See, they were just looking at themselves, but now they are being forced to look at you. Hey, Saida. Hi, mediocrity hater. How are you? Hi, Latasha. Grand Rising. Bottom of the deck. Betrayal. See, somebody wanted to betray you. Hello, Malcolm. They didn't want you to have this radical rebirth. They never wanted you to rebuild yourself. They never wanted you to have a fair shake in life. This is what they didn't want for you. And now this person is feeling shame. People are looking at them. They're asking questions. They're whispering. They're pointing fingers. They're doing this for shame, that type of thing. And now somebody is sitting here. They're feeling bad. They're feeling like, they were a villain. Now they're trying to place themselves as the victim because of this desire that they had, this strong desire that they had to bring you down, and they never thought that people would find out. But everyone is finding out the truth. No matter how they're looking at it, no matter how they try to frame it, no matter how they try to act like, it's this, people are finding out the truth of the situation. They're finding out the truth about you, collective. And the truth about you, how valuable you are, how worthy you are, how important you are, your existence. How important just your mere existence is here on earth with all of us. It's like they understand the part that you play in helping the collective and helping others and helping people that want to be free and helping people that want to heal and just helping people. They understand the role that you play. Somebody didn't want others to understand the role that you play. Hey, create. This is your season. This is the season that you're receiving your karmic return. This is the season that somebody else is receiving their karmic return too. And to be honest, they're kind of shocked. They felt that, and I don't know why, maybe this person just lied to themselves so much. Maybe they were under some sort of mind-boggling, mind-juggling, thoughts. Maybe the veil was so tightly pulled around their eyes, their head, that it affected their brain. But they actually thought, they had the nerve and the audacity to think that the karma that they are now receiving is what you would receive. Like as if they didn't do enough to get in your way, as if they didn't do enough to create certain obstacles for you. They're shocked. They in their words, they're like, I am shocked and appalled that they are receiving their just due. You know what? God is blessing you. And it's like every time you turn around, you're like, oh my God, it's got to be a miracle. But God said, no, it's no miracle. This is what you deserve. You have this type of cosmic power within yourself. You are perfectly balanced. That yin, that yang, it's something about you that could not ever be denied. Can't be duplicated. Can't be replicated. And it definitely cannot be denied. I'm telling you, it's about the joy that you bring. It's about the joy that you have within yourself. It's about the joy that you purposely give to others, whether you know it or not. A lot of times you spread so much positivity, so much joy. You make people feel so good on the inside, whether it's just something that you say, whether it's something small that you do, whether it's, you just saying, hey, I'm sending you a hug from here to there, catch that hug. Whatever it is, you bring this joy to people. You make it so that people feel good about themselves. And this is why you are receiving this good juju. This is why the goodness that you've put out is being returned to you. Something about the way that you are, how you creatively awaken the love that people feel for themselves on the inside. Maybe it's the way that you explain something. Maybe it's the way that you tell a story, like Jesus. Jesus used parables in the Bible because people, they were going to be closed off to just hearing the truth. So Jesus had to relate it to something that they could understand. And maybe that's what you're doing. But the way that you creatively awaken in people what they need to understand, what they need to be aware of, what they need to then leave behind so that they can creatively and ascend. It's amazing. Not short of a miracle. This person, whoever this person is, they wanted it to be about them. They wanted to be the one that was on Front Street. They wanted everybody to look at them and feel like they were the ones that shined. But see, people looked at them and all they saw was how they were envious, how they lusted after your life, how they would stop at nothing to be you. Somebody could have been named Karen, but yet they were so, what's the word I'm looking for? Jealous, so envious. It's like instead of them, it's like, and they would go into certain places. people where nobody knew them, and they would say, "Hey, what's your name?" And instead of them saying, "My name is Karen," they would say another name. "My name is Latasha. My name is Shelly. My name is Toya." They would say a whole different name, as opposed to what your true name is. Somebody, they didn't like the fact that you were so secure. In fact, they hated it. They didn't like the fact that you felt good about yourself, no matter what part of or what timeline of your life you were in. You always felt good about yourself. You always had standards. You always had morals. You always had ethics. And they didn't like this. It was always about how you provided miracles for someone else, how you provided the little things, And now, like I said, this is your time to receive those same things in return. Hey, Keith. This could be somebody that you were even connected with. This could be a family relationship. This could be somebody that, you felt connected to on a soul level. Hey, Tia. But something about how you intuitively felt about that person, even though you gave this person opportunity, you showed this person so much grace, you tried over and over and over and over and over and over and over with this person to let the past go. We'll start, okay, it didn't work back then, we'll start again here. Okay, it didn't work right here, we'll start again here. You did that over and over for this person. So many different opportunities, but they never worked. And they didn't work because you didn't try. They didn't work because that person didn't want it to work. This person is really upset today because they're looking at you and they're looking at what you provide, what you give so selflessly of yourself. And like I said, you awaken people. That's like something that you lovingly do. You helping people to see the goodness of themselves. It's like something that you enjoy. That's how you get pleasure, making sure that somebody else feels good about themselves. Because you can remember how many times, you can remember certain days, certain instances, certain occasions when you felt so utterly bad about yourself. You want people to feel safe. You provided your family that safe space. And you providing not just your family, but friends, neighbors, colleagues. You provide that safe space for people to feel like they can come and they can talk to you. And you're not going to, you're going to keep their confidence. You're not going to betray them. This is part of what makes you so worthy. Hey, Anissa. Hello, Melissa. Grand Rising, K Hypsee. It's not just you providing a safe space for people, but it's also about you being so truthful with them. You are one to call a spade a spade. You're not going to sugarcoat it. If you don't agree with how somebody handled a situation, you're going to let them know you don't agree. If you feel that somebody did something right or they didn't do something, you're going to just be honest with them. You're very grounded. You look at life a different type of way, because not because not because you want to, but because you've had to. You've been humbled so many times in your life, even when you started off humble. And this person is realizing that they tried to humble you when you were already humble to begin with. This is why this person is feeling such shame today. This is why this person is not feeling worthy. They don't feel worthy whenever they wanted you to not feel worthy. Something about your fearless love. Something about the way that you love. How you choose to love no matter what someone throws your way. Hey, Wingseer. Hi, William. Original. Lulu, how are you? No matter what someone throws your way, that's how you respond. That's your comeback. That's your get back. Somebody can attack you verbally, and you're not going to sit there and do the same thing. You're going to do it in love. That way, and it's like, this is what is really upset someone, because might be thinking about the last conversation that you had with them, and how they did the most to try and attack you, to make you break. They wanted to see you break down and cry. They wanted to see you crumble. They wanted to see you just absolutely, positively lose it. But instead, you responded in love. You were measured. You were calm. You were polite. You showed them grace. And the part that got them the most, the part that hurt their heart space the most, you didn't hold a grudge, and you forgave them, because you understood that they are not in the space that they need to be. Their spirituality is not in the place that it could be. That there's work that they needed to do that they haven't done yet. You understood that. I feel like you've told this to someone before, that maybe they should work on themselves. They need to work on how they see themselves, what they want for their life. They need to work on their relationship with God. They need to work on connecting with themselves. They need to work on healing themselves. They need to work on that inner child, especially if this person wants joy in their life. You told this person that, to follow their own intuition, to surrender to that little voice on the inside of them that's telling them the right way to go. But see, somebody feels like their intuition, they feel like they don't have any intuition. They're afraid to connect with themselves. They're afraid to listen to that first little voice that they hear that says, turn this way. They feel like, no, I'm not going to follow that. I'm going to go down this way, because I feel like if I did, they're afraid. Because they've had other people, telling them, saying this, filling their head with whatever. And they've never had to be in the position where it was just them by themselves. Just them and God. where they had to absolutely positively learn to trust their intuition. Like I said, this person has been resistant. They've been afraid. It's like they don't trust themselves. More importantly, they don't trust God. And the only reason they don't trust God is because they haven't given themselves an opportunity to know God. Because once you know God, you don't trust anyone else except for God. You follow those intuitive nudges. You don't make rash decisions. You could meet somebody today and you feel a certain way about them, like you're kind of being drawn to them, but at the same time something is telling you don't get too close. Whereas if you didn't listen to God, you would have just rushed in. You would have jumped in with both feet. But because you listened to God and you went slow like God was urging you to do, that's whenever you was able to see this red flag and that red flag and this red flag and that red flag, so that you still have that distance to let you know that, okay, this is the reason why God was telling me to go slow, to tread lightly, to not jump in where angels would fear to go. Somebody is upset with themselves that they were too afraid to go it alone. That they were too afraid to be independent in thought and action. Somebody is upset with themselves. Hey, Lisa, how are you? And now that they know that they're, because they refuse to surrender to God. They resisted that. They refused to listen to their own intuition. They understand that they sabotaged themselves when they didn't have to. Somebody is definitely harvesting the life that they manifested. And it's sad because them trying to hold you down, them trying to hold you back, them trying to shortchange you, them trying to do all these cruel, negative, harsh things to you. They're seeing that this is what they've manifested for themselves. A life of scarcity. They're seeing that they brought it on themselves. Now they feeling naked. They feeling seen. They feeling like everybody can see them for their worst flaws, for everything that they've put out there, for everything that they chose to do against you. They feel like people can look at them, even strangers can look at them and understand what they've done. They feel like people are looking down on them. I feel like I said, this villain is now placed themselves in victim mode. Like that one rap song, My Mind is Playing Tricks on Me. Hey, Warrior CC. Their mind is dealing with them. They feel like they've ruined their life. Everything has burnt down to the ground. Like they have no other option but to rebuild themselves. This person, it's like they know that they need to start with forgiveness. Forgiveness of self. And that's it, just forgiveness of self. They wish that they had something that they could feel like they've forgiven you for, but there's nothing that you did. They have to work on themselves. This is a hard pill for someone to swallow right now. To know that they attacked you for no reason. They came for you for no fucking reason. They're going through all of this for no fucking reason. And the whole time, they're looking at you as somebody that's damn near perfect. They understand that you are an earth angel. They understand that you are in alignment. And the reason they understand this is because they're thinking about your past actions and your past reactions. Your past actions have always been to help, to assist, to provide, to encourage, and to fearlessly love. And your past reactions were always to forgive, to start anew, to provide grace, and to fearlessly love. Even whenever you spoke up about the betrayal that they did against you, even whenever you spoke up and asked them, why would you do this to me? How could you do this? Why did you do this? They now realize there's nothing that they need to forgive about you. That forgiveness is all about them. They feel that, because all your chakras are open, because that you receive all these downloads from the Most High, from the angels above, from your passed over loved ones, because you are so empathetic, because you feel with your heart, because you are a spiritual being, because you are an earth angel, that you understand, and it's like you just know when someone is lying. When someone is being dishonest. It's like you can look at that person and pick out what their secrets are. It's like somebody feels like they can't even hide anything from you. And I feel like this is something that makes them somewhat afraid of you. The fact that they cannot hide anything from you. Let me open up the front door so that she'll have something to look at besides staring at me. Just a minute, little girl. Look, let's open it. You want to go out back or you want to look out the front?
Front door unlocked.
There. Just look out there. Thank you so much for being so patient. Hey, Sonny, how are you? I feel like even whenever you knew this person was lying to you, trying to deceive you, trying to pull the wool over your eyes, you were still grounded. You always kept your cool. You never flew off the handle. It's almost like you always knew that like they say, this too shall pass. You always knew that your day is going to come. That the sun is going to expose everything. That somebody is going to receive what they've been putting out. Somebody's been wearing a mask. And now people are starting to see that mask because that mask has been slipping. What a web we weave when we practice to deceive. When you practice to deceive somebody. It's impossible to keep that mask on. At some point, your eye's going to itch, and you're going to have to lift the mask up to actually scratch your eye. There's going to be something that maybe a piece of dust or dirt gets inside the mask, and it's going to start irritating your skin, and you're going to have to lift up that mask to scratch your cheek, or you're going to have to take off the mask to wash your face. Hey, Rose Glitter, thank you. But that mask has slipped. And now they're seeing that they are getting what they deserve. And they're upset that you too are getting what you deserve. And what you deserve, like I said, is that good juju, those blessings for liberating yourself. Liberating yourself from something that was not there for you, not that was meant to hurt you, meant to harm you, meant to tear you down, meant to belittle you, meant to end your existence. See, what this person doesn't like too is that people can also see you for who you truly are. They feel naked, and they feel like everyone can see them. And they feel shame because they feel that everyone can see you too. Everyone can see everything that you had to fight through, fight for, and fight because of. And no matter that fight, no matter the war, no matter the people that were coming against you, no matter how many people it was coming against you, you always responded the same way. You always responded the same way because you always knew who you were. A loving, healthy, healing, blessed being. You always knew that you had confirmation, a number, whether it was number 1 or anywhere through or number 144,000, you always knew that you had a number. Hello, I am Amber Dawn. Hi, Tia Star. So that battle that you went through, that war, those scars that you proudly wear, they weren't for nothing. Every single scar that you have because of that battle, that spiritual battle, it all means something. Everything that you had to create, that you had very little to work with, it was going to grow into something. And look at you now. People held back from you. It's like they didn't want you to have. They felt like they needed it more, like you didn't deserve. And so you basically worked with scraps. But look at you now. You are now sitting on top of a diamond, a gold mine. You are now sitting in a castle. And it's not because you got lucky. It's because you got luck. It's because you got God. It's because you got love. People are looking at you live out loud, and everybody is shocked. But they're no more shocked than the person that wanted to tear you down. But this person is now realizing all the storms that they created in your life, all the people that they tried to have go against you, all the chaos, all the calamity, the entire cacophony. They realize now that that only hurt them, never hurt you. In fact, I feel like it was every time that they came up against you, it just made you, put your shoulder to the grindstone even more, work harder. Because even if they knocked you down 8 times, you always got up that 9th time. Even if they tried to knock you down 20 times, they see that you got up 21 times. No matter how many times they tried to knock you down, you always got the fuck up. This is why you get to live out loud. This is why you get to celebrate. This is why people are celebrating you. This is why this person now has to surrender and has to forgive themselves for everything that they tried to do against you. Like I said, everybody's looking at this person, and the one thing that's shining about that person is how wrong they were to you and how loving you were to them. This person now understands that they have to level up, grow up, and stop acting up. Those days are over. Those days have been over. This person, I feel like there was a lot of red flags in this person's life that that God was showing them. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do like this. You don't want to do that. And you better think twice. You better not do that. There was a lot of red flags, but because this person's ego, but because this person had this burning desire within them to destroy you, they chose to ignore all those flags. But today, everybody is looking at this person in disgust. Their desire is what took them out. Their desire is showing the harvest that they're bringing in. Everyone is seeing what they manifested, what they worked on, what they was trying to do, what they were trying to alchemize. And this person thought that they was going to be able to feel safe. They tried to take your safe space away from you. They thought that they were going to be able to feel safe in the type of person that they were being. And they realize this person feels so bad about themselves. This person is so depressed. This person is in such a sunken place that they don't think they're ever going to come out. Ever. And the reason they feel like they're never going to come out is because everything that they've done is being seen. How this person even refused to work on themselves, how they refused to drop the shenanigans, how they refused to understand that you deserve a good life too. They felt like it was all fun and games. It was all kiki, ha ha, hoo hoo, until it wasn't. Now somebody's upset with themselves for feeling like they had to be the one on Front Street, for feeling like they're upset with themselves for putting themselves on Front Street, for trying to draw all this attention to them. Because this person didn't realize how strong you were, the cosmic power that you have. And they felt that all those days, weeks, months, years of you not speaking up, of you not saying anything, they thought that it meant that you felt like you lost. It was never that. Now this person is trying to think how they can rebuild themselves, what they can do to get out of this situation that they find themselves in, what it's going to take for them to try and regain somebody's trust, anybody's trust, what they're going to have to do so that people don't look down on them with the tisk, tisk. You know, the only reason this person is feeling bad right now is not because truly that they've been caught. The only reason that they're really feeling bad is because you're still shining. You're still winning. You're still rising above. You are still ascending. And you are starting to receive everything that you put out. And they are too. Hey, Nuclear Orange, how are you? Hi, Ayana. Yes, messed up their whole life. Observer 88, Tyrell, how are you? Bottom of the deck. You're still winning. There's nothing that they can do to stop you. You know, I feel like this person felt like, if they only gave you a little, that you would never turn it into a lot. This person felt like if they just gave you this and that was it, that you wouldn't ultimately, have a hidden, some hidden treasures somewhere. This person is realizing that all their tricks, all their schemes, all their games backfired, led to their own heartbreak. Hey, Lightworker William. Now this person is observing you from a distance, and they feel so bad because they've been seen. They've been caught. They're the only ones that it's experiencing grief. And like I said, if this was somebody in your family, their family don't want nothing to do with them either. Because people are sitting here like, why would you get us involved in this? Why would you do this? Why would you say this? How could you act this way? Someone is trying to think what they can do to move forward. It's like they are racking their brains. They're trying to figure out what you did to move forward. Even whenever they had you and they was pressing you down with all their might, how you wriggled and broke free and got back up again. They can't sleep at night. They can't sleep at night, and they know that they have nowhere else to go. They can't plan anything else, with this group to try and hold you down, to come up with some other plan to do this. They plan that it's not working anymore. Nobody wants to be a part of the bullshit. Nobody wants to receive so much bad karma. Nobody wants to feel like, they have destroyed their entire life listening to a fucking liar. Nobody wants to sit here and work on the side of this clown anymore, because it's not funny anymore. Yes, people see that, they cursed themselves when they came for you. They cursed themselves. They cursed their own lineage when they came for you. And you're not even looking concerned. You're not looking stressed. You ain't looking upset. You looking like you still love. You still happy. You're still abundant. You still have joy. You still helping people. You still moving forward. You still growing. Now people are sitting here thinking that, it's time. It's time for them to surrender themselves. It's time for them to take that plunge. It's time for them to lean on God. It's time for them to seek God. Most importantly, it is time for them to surrender, because they've sacrificed themselves. Like I said, it's time for them to surrender. They know that they went against you in war, and there was nothing that they could do to overtake you. You were always going to be protected. And they didn't realize why you were so protected. If they threw so many daggers, so many swords, so many rocks, so many stones, so many missiles at you, how everything just kind of bounced off of you. And it's because you have such a blessing over your entire life. You are the gift. You are your family's gift. That's why. They see now it's time for them to stop whatever they're doing, to ask for forgiveness, to seek solace. Because, like I said, now they realize that you were here on a purpose, to break a generational curse. Not just here to do it, they see that you've done it. Someone wants to bring you your flowers, but you don't trust this person, because this person was a main one that wanted to go up against you. This is somebody who wanted to tear your entire life down. This is somebody who swore up and down that they had no respect for you. This is somebody who went around town talking about how much that they hate you. And now this person is in their feelings, knowing that they can't even come close to you. And it's because they got themselves in this position. And the whole time that they were trying to fight with you, you saw them. You even spoke about it. And that's what really upset them, is because you called a spade a spade. You spoke your truth. And your truth was also God's truth. What else, Spirit? This is your time to shine. Those old recordings, those old tapes, those old memories, it's time to clear the air. You deserve to let all of that go so that you can make room for new memories. The ones that you're going to take with you when it's your time to transition and go beyond. Those are going to be the memories that you need to think about. Those are going to be the memories that comfort you. Those are going to be the memories that make your heart feel good. Those are going to be the memories that you're going to realize it all was for a reason, and there was not a wasted time or season. Get ready. Get ready to travel, because you're going places. God has you going somewhere else to work, to do something else, to be a guiding light to someone else. God has plans for you. God has made such a wise investment in you. This is why you're about to get some flowers. Anything else, Spirit? Somebody wants to say something to you, but they're being held from communicating, held back from communicating. And I feel like it's this person. Like maybe they can't get through. Whether you changed your number, you got them on call block. They can't send even a text, an email. They don't know your address, but somebody wants to say something, but they cannot get through. All they can do is look at you with a broken heart. All they can do is think about the memory of you. All they can do is know that life is going in your direction because of your open heart. That's it. And if nothing else, this person never, ever, ever thought, it's like they couldn't see it within you, that you were going to be the one. You know, whether it was you were going to be the wealthy one, you were going to be the happy one, you were going to be the blessed one. They never could see it in you. And never in a million years, in 1,000 dreams, they never thought that them and those that they worked with would be receiving what they deserve. They missed it. They absolutely missed it. All right, y'all, let's swing the pendulum. And let's see what the message the Spirit has for us before somebody comes back around. She's stretching. She's sitting there like, you talking about me? This girl. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? What's the answer? Hold on. All right. Looks like the answer is no. Looks like it's a no. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. Today is Friday. Let's make it a wonderful Friday. I love you all, and we will see each other soon. Have a great day. Bye now.